Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rizky Susanto. I am from UIN Syarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. I'm going to express my opinion about the complication between Islam and social science in general perspective. In life, there will definitely be elements whose interests are not in line, which causing problems or conflicts. The simple definition of complication is conflict between two parties who have different interests. Conflict can happen to anyone, also between Islam and social science, which have some deviations between both of them. Islam, which is the basis of all knowledge, should be properly implicated in social science. But in reality, even in Islamic education units, it is often the opposite of social science. The contradiction between two emerged since social science took precedence over religious knowledge. In this case, Islam, we often found in tertiary institutions that Islam is not really implemented. In fact, knowledge that is fardhu kifayah in nature, such as social science, takes precedence over those that are fardhu ain. Actually, both are parallel and relate to each other. As a result of the dominance of social science, the implication of secularism have occurred unknowingly in the Islamic world. The meaning comes from the word saeculum, which means worldly. The point is that the dominance of integrating social science rather than Islamic religious knowledge causes Islamic society be more inclined to worldly affairs. Secularism will give birth to secularization, which means self-liberation from the control of religion or metaphysics. This process emphasizes humans as creatures of the world, not creatures of God. Obviously, this is very contrary to Islamic teachings. The implication of secularization appears strong and clear in the social science. Therefore, Islam is in conflict with social science. In this case, we give an example of psychology, which according to Auguste Comte, a person's mental approach is based on science alone and considers religion unimportant. This is an example of secularization, which is very dangerous if it is indoctrinated in adherence of Islam. Social science experts argue that science, including social science, will be valid if it's separated from religious knowledge, Islam. In fact, many science explain that the absence of the presence of God and the universe occurs on the basis of science without anyone controlling it. The Western education system, which tends to contain secularization, is unconsciously implemented in Indonesia and makes social science far from Islam. Western education is designed to focus on worldly things that are not Islamic oriented. Therefore, there is a need for the Islamization of social science. The real conflict between Islam and social science is because social science is still largely based on natural science and logic by putting religion aside. This causes the character of the social science to be problematic. One of the problems is considering humans are just robots that run on the basis of logic, and ignoring other fact that not everything can be measured by logic. Another example is that social science is objective, so it does not accept any updates or results, which might sometimes be subjective. In addition, several principles used by social science are wrong, such as following free sex on the basis of human rights. In Islam, that is the biggest mistake. Indeed, from some sides, Islam seems to be in line with social science, but in general perspective, if we examine it again, we will be able to find elements that intersect. This element is inconsistent between Islam and social science. At some point, not everything can be explained by logic. According to social science, sometimes there are things out of control that only Islam can explain. Those are differences in perspective that make social science and Islam intersect. Therefore, it is very necessary to have Islamization in every Indonesian education unit in various disciplines, especially in social science. That's my recommendation about the complication between Islam and social science in general perspective. Thank you for watching and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.